How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel Tech with KG. Here with a guest today, Jolster G4K. How are you doing today, Jolster?
Good, good. Thank you guys, everyone. Thank you, KG, for inviting me to the live stream today. And I hope you guys have some questions for us. So we're going to try to help you with as much as we can in regards of TVs and gaming. We're going to talk about gaming today, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about gaming. We're gonna talk about movies. We're gonna talk about pretty much everything. We're gonna talk about projectors. I know you have a lot of experience with projectors, and I don't. So I
Yeah.
would love to hear a lot about that a little bit later in the stream. We'll give some people some time to get in a little bit before we really dive into it. But you want to tell everybody what your channel's about, Jolster? Introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
so basically, I'm Jolster. The channel is Jolster G4K for those of you who are not familiar with, and I review TVs, monitors, projectors, soundbars, everything related to home theater. And I also do a lot of gaming. So my primarily is my gaming. That's my forte. But I also do movies and everything. But so if you guys are interested in that, check out the channel Jolster G4K, and also I cover a lot of projectors. Yeah, like you mentioned that
Hmm.
projectors. I've been doing standard throw projectors, short throw projectors, ultra short throw projectors, from laser to 4K to even portable projectors. It's funny how I didn't realize how many projectors I already have covered in
Yeah,
this channel. So
that's
that's better.
awesome.
It's really cool. I really like it.
So do
I
you
just
have
need
like a test area for projectors or?
Well, yeah, I do actually in this. I don't know if you can see, but this is a very small room.
Hmm.
As a matter of fact, who came here? A friend of mine that is also a YouTuber. No, he's not a YouTuber, but he's a subscriber. He
Okay.
came over here. He saw the room. He was like, "Oh my god, this is a small room. I can't tell from the videos,
Right.
but I have a screen right there behind this TV. This is an ALR screen. So ALR stands for um, what is it? Ambient light rejecting screen. Because I was thinking of CLR, which is pretty much the same. So
Right.
ALR is ambient light, CLR is ceiling light rejecting screen. So basically, this one is my top choice for ultra short throw projectors, because the projectors from ultra short throw, they throw the light from the bottom up. So this screen has this little groups that it absorbs the light from the projector, and then
Hmm.
you can project it more vivid to you. And then so on top, they reject the light from the ceiling, so that way you get better contrast, better colors, deeper black levels. It's pretty cool technology. And then so that's the main screen that I use for ultra shorter projectors. And then over there by the window, I have a roll down. It's a motor powered widescreen. And then over here in the back, I have an 80-inch ALR screen. So sometimes I put projectors over there projecting backwards, and sometimes I put projectors over here projecting that way. So yeah, it's very small, but it's very practical the way I have it everything arranged. Plus, when I do outside projectors, I have a friend that he lets me use his backyard,
Oh,
and I mean
cool.
his house is pretty big. I mean it's like a I feel like I'm in a small hotel in there
Hmm.
because he has a huge backyard, and then so he has a 150-inch screen, which is humongous. This one right here is 103-inch. His backyard is 150-inch. So it feels like you're part of the movie, especially when you're watching movies. It's really, really awesome. So I have those spaces, and I'm also right now I'm actually going to work on another screen projector video that I do for Elite screens. And so basically, it's like a portable screen that you can pretty much build it together and then use it, and then just put it away. It comes with bags and everything. It's super easy to assemble. It's really nice. So I
That's
have
cool.
dozens of screens. Sometimes I have to just give them away because it's too much.
Yeah. So between short throw projectors and like regular projectors, do you think there's a drop off in quality with short throw, or is there?
Short throw
Are you giving up
and
anything for short throw projectings?
No,
Because.
it depends on, you know what, I noticed it depends on the brand,
Hmm.
because each brand they use different kinds of lens and different kind of uh, pixel shifting processors for the picture quality. So I noticed that some, cheapo brands, they use maybe the less expensive processors, and you can tell in the quality. It's like right away. Even a native 1080p projector for like a budget one compared to a 1080p projector from BenQ, the quality is like super noticeable. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter about the if it's ultra short throw or short throw. It just depends on what brand you're getting and what processor they're getting. So that it means a lot. It means a lot. Same with like with clothes, with clothing. When you buy a cheapo brand and when you
Mm-hmm.
buy a known brand
Yeah.
like Nike or something, it's you can tell that difference.
Yeah. You
Same
get what
thing.
you pay for, kind of thing.
Exactly. You get
Yeah.
what you pay for. So yeah, one of my favorite brands probably will be like BenQ,
Mm-hmm.
LG for projectors. BenQ, LG, those are the ones that
Oh, got a little bit of an audio dropout. Hope everything's okay on your side. Hopefully that's not on my end. Um. But let's
bring.
see.
Oh, there it is.
You good? Was that me or
Yeah,
you?
I don't know. I just like I lost the signal. It was just like
Okay.
loading.
All right. Scary. All right.
Well, actually,
Um.
like, let me go into the stream because I haven't even seen the. I'm looking at you the StreamYard stream, but I haven't seen
Oh yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. Is
actual
my quality
screen.
good? Let me know in the
You
chat,
look, you
guys.
look, yeah, it looks good,
Okay.
but
Let's see. And then speaking of kind of you get what you pay for, let's talk about something kind of we both experienced, and honestly, something that kind of exceeds what you pay for in a lot of senses. And that's the Hisense UAG. And this gentleman, Princeton Rodriguez, says, "Hey, Jolster, how is the UAG working for you?" So, you still
the
using it?
UH, yeah, I'm just using. I mean,
That's
actually,
right
it's
there.
right
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
It's turned on right now.
Hmm.
I do use it constantly. I actually, it's going to be my main TV. I still have the Samsung Q7 FN,
Hmm.
and I'm selling that one for like $300. So if anyone of you guys live nearby and looking for a
It's pretty.
Good Samsung TV,
That's a good TV. Yeah, I had
yeah, it's a good
one of those.
TV. It still looks amazing though,
Hmm.
but I don't have the space.
Right.
So I need to get rid of it. I'm just gonna sell it for like $300. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm really happy with it. It has everything. The sound is good for a TV. I think it's good, and so far I haven't had any issues. Even with gaming, still works great. The only thing for gaming is when I had problems with local dimming and the Xbox, but that is something regarding with the Xbox mostly because of the BRR,
Hmm.
and also didn't work with 120 hertz on the Xbox.
Yep.
Local dimming doesn't work with that.
Yep. I experienced the
So
same thing. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So those are the only, how can I say, downsides. But
So,
honestly, I feel like 4K 60 HDR and local dimming works best.
mhm. Did you see my review on it where I was showing off the inverse ghosting? Um, like when you kind of move your camera, you can see little trails,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
green trails.
yeah.
Did
I
you
saw
experience
that.
that much, or
No, no, I
are you mostly
haven't.
playing in 120 hertz games then, or
No, I'm mostly playing in 4K 60,
okay,
4K
interesting.
60,
Yeah, I
because
heard a lot of people don't really notice it. It's something that I catch because like I had it on my Samsung and it bothered me so much that um I got really upset about it. So like when I see it again, it's like it brings back like nightmares almost. So
yeah,
I can definitely call it out when I see it.
yeah, I
Have you ever
seen that.
experienced this thing with the HDR where it kind of like blows out the highlights sometimes? Um, I heard a lot of people on the forums talk about it too, like where the EOTF tracking is off, just like randomly just messes up, and then you get blown out whites and blown out HDR and on the
Yeah,
Xbox mostly.
really, no.
Yeah.
Usually, what I do, I adjust the HDR
Hmm.
on the Xbox, and then I start playing on that. So one thing I did notice is that when I switch to, because I play mostly on my monitors, for the most part I play on the monitors. So when I switched back to the TV, I see what you're saying about the HDR looks like blown away.
Hmm.
It doesn't look properly, and the reason is because my monitor here is HDR 400,
Yeah.
and the TV is like up to 1500 or even more. So when you switch to different either TVs or monitors, or
Hmm.
just make sure that you adjust the HDR on the Xbox,
Yeah.
not on the TV, because
So
it makes a difference to me.
that's when it happens for me is like whenever I go to the HDR adjustment screen, it starts to blow out the highlights more. It's
Yeah,
weird. It's a weird thing. It's a bug, and I think Hisense knows about it now. And they've kind of talked about how they want to address it in a patch. So that's good. They're gonna also try to fix inverse ghosting, so they say.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. Other than that, I mean, I liked it. I had a bad panel, I think, though. I don't know. It had a little bit of light leakage.
Mhm.
I'm not really happy with the black level performance, as everybody says it has like inky blacks. But then again, I have the 55-inch, which has less dimming zones, and I
Mhm.
definitely notice those black bars when I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I am kind of spoiled by OLED though. I've been testing nothing but OLEDs for the last couple of months, so that could be like a symptom of that.
Yeah,
Um,
you get used to it. All it,
yeah.
you get so used to it.
Hmm.
Let me see. Oh, I see a question here from
Okay, here we
I
go.
Guzman
Thank you for
83.
the super chat, iGuzman83. Hey
Yeah,
Jolster, I bought the BenQ TK700 STI because of you, and it looks
yeah.
amazing on my white wall. Will the screen make a difference if I only use it at night?
Well, let me see. If your wall is completely like flat, there is no discrepancies in there, like no dents or no scratches, or maybe if it's super clean, then it should be fine. You know, the only reason I would suggest a screen it's if you have some problem with your wall, because it does make a difference when you have like wavy wall, or maybe you have some sort of pattern or something on your wall. But if you don't, you should be fine. Like the cool thing about a wall, a clean wall, is that you can go as big as the wall. You know, that's the coolest thing you can have over the
Yeah.
wall. Now, now on the other hand, if you have some ambient light in your room, or you're planning on having some sort of light while you're watching a movie, then I will go for a nice, a better screen, because screens, what it does, like the material is matte, so it absorbs more light.
Hmm.
Now, if you go for a white matte, it absorbs the light, but it's also going to be like super bright, the picture. But as soon as you turn on the light or some sort of light, boom, the image goes like you lose like quality on the image. Now, if you go for a scenic gray screen, which is probably like the best in my opinion, for that kind of projector, because he said he's got the BenQ TK SCI, so that's a short draw projector.
Hmm.
So if you get to go for a scenic gray screen, it's probably good because you're gonna get deeper black levels, like better contrast as well. And now you can also go for an ALR screen. It works with that projector. That projector is super bright. Plus, the projector is short throw. So what happens is like you can place it a little bit closer to the screen. And I don't know if you noticed, but the projector, it aims the beam like like
Yeah.
upwards.
I've
So
seen
it's
that.
like upwards like that. It's not like straight. It's
Right.
upwards. So it works with an ALR screen as well, kind of like this one right here.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have a question about that. So, like, if you do aim it at the wall, do you ever kind of notice the texture of your wall through the screen, or through
Yeah,
the?
yeah, you
You
can.
do.
Yeah,
You
you
can.
do.
Okay.
Yeah, for example, in this house, the other room that I have is it has some sort of like texture, and
Hmm.
also it has the paint is like glossy.
Right.
So what it did is like the picture looks kind of like a rainbow. It has some these
Ah.
rainbow colors
Okay.
because the wall is like glossy. It
Right.
looks really terrible, and then you can still see the pattern. So it really it's not a
So
good
for that
experience.
situation, you really need a screen, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You do,
Okay.
you do.
Nice.
Let's see.
All right.
Wow,
So
we have
on
a
the
lot of
topic, what's up?
we have a lot of people here in the live stream. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Um, if we look at the UHG and we kind of compare it to some of the TVs that are out there, uh, let's take example of a TV you've already seen, the QN85A, and
Yeah.
I'd like to know your opinion on that. Those two, like side by side. If you had a chance, have you had a chance to put them side by side, or is it something?
No,
No.
no. I don't have the Q85 anymore,
Yeah.
but I do have some footage, and I was thinking of maybe like getting some of the footage together.
Yeah, I
But
think
as when I remember, they when I had that TV, it's just like that TV was so bright.
yeah.
Man, I don't know about the Q98, which I'm pretty sure it's brighter,
Yeah, yeah, it's brighter.
but the Q85 was so bright, dude. I was having so much problems trying to record that TV
Hmm.
because the brightness is just so much
Yeah,
that the camera couldn't catch it, and you could see like some lines,
yeah.
some bars, like when that happens. So, in compared to the UAG, this to me is bright too, but
Hmm.
I still feel like the Samsung was so much brighter.
Yeah, it just has a different dimension to it. The Samsung does for the brightness. There was something about the QN90A that, like, I don't know if it was the glossiness of the screen or just it just popped a different way than UHG did.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know if you felt that, and the black levels
yeah.
just felt a little bit deeper. I don't
I
know if that
felt,
was the same case
yeah.
for the QN85, but
I felt the same way.
hmm,
That even though that the Q85 was like ADS or something, which is
yeah,
similar to
it's an IPS.
IPS.
Yeah, it's an IPS panel.
It's similar to IPS,
Hmm.
yeah. But I felt like the black levels were like inky black when you were like straight in front of the TV. As soon as you turn like an angle or you stand up, you
Hmm.
start seeing like this weird, glow
Yeah,
around the picture. It was like,
you kind of see that with the high sense, like, even more.
yeah.
And then you start to see color shift with the high senses as well.
Hmm.
With the Q at 98, you see a little bit of blooming from the side angle, but you definitely don't see color shift because they have that wide angle
The wide angle.
technology. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does Q at 85 have that? I don't think it does.
I don't think so,
It might,
but
but
since he had that IPS sort of panel, it's
hmm,
supposed to have better. IPS. One of the features is like it has better viewing angles,
yeah,
but I don't know. Like I think what Samsung with the AVS, what they did is like they sacrificed those viewing angles, but
yeah,
instead when you're sitting in front of it, you have like this deep black, inky black levels that you don't get with IPS panels.
yeah.
Like my monitors here, they're IPS, and I don't get deep black levels. I get like dark gray, and I can see it like right away. But with that TV, that was the cool thing. Is like the black levels were amazing. That's why it was
Hmm.
so confusing to me. Like, what kind of panel is this? Because it acts like a VA, but it's not a VA.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, it's
that's one thing I really noticed too. I was like, how is this an IPS panel? Because I saw it at
yeah,
video only, and I thought, man, this TV looks really good. And it honestly reminded me so much of the QN90A that, like, I almost couldn't tell the difference.
yeah.
Technically, the QN90A gets brighter, but at the same time, like, I kind of was thinking, like, maybe I should buy this to review. But the QN85A is only like $100 less than the QN90A, so it's like, I don't think it's really worth
Mm,
it. Like, I
yeah.
would rather go QN90A like all day,
Uh,
if it comes
wh-
down to it.
when they came out, it was significant. The
Yeah.
price was
Hmm.
was very different. Was much higher on the Q98. So when I saw it, and then I saw like a lot of YouTubers were buying the TV or getting the TV for review. So I always try to go for the optional because I don't want to go with the same as everyone's going.
Right.
So that's why I got the Q85A. But now the prices are different, and that's what I talked about on my videos, or when I did those videos. One
Hmm.
of the number one complaints was the price. It was just like over the top, and it's natural for a brand new product to come out, with the highest price. But now, I think it's just more affordable. So if you guys are interested in Samsung, or if you want to buy a Samsung, and I will go for the Q98 if this is in your hands. But the Q85A was also pretty. I
Yeah.
really like it. I really like it.
All right. I'm gonna throw a hypothetical at you. So let's say that the QN85A was $12.99 for the 55 inch, and then the UHG is its full price, $1,000, what it is right now. Would you go
Yeah,
for the UHG or would you go for the QN85A for $300 more?
I will probably go for the. Oh man. So when it comes down to features, the UAG
Hmm.
will beat the Samsung really easily, because I mean the UAG has what Dolby Vision,
Right.
has more dimming zones. Well, it
Hmm.
has Dolby Atmos. It has two HDMI 2.1 ports. So it has a lot of cool features. Now, a lot of things that I've seen and I notice is that people are still kind of skeptical because Hisense doesn't have the same reputation as Samsung. Samsung, you're talking about, they have more years of experience. So that's one thing that I can't. I don't know how this Hisense is going to end up in
Right.
5 years. That's one
Yeah.
thing that I kind of gives you a thinking about which brand to get.
Right.
And
And
then
I could
so
say that like after seeing like the panel that I got out of the box, definitely makes me a little weary about the panel lottery from
yeah,
Hisense. There's definitely a little bit of that with Samsung as well though. So kind of get that with every LCD. Honestly, you have panel
yeah,
lottery issues.
yeah.
So
So
it's tough, man.
and the same thing goes for TCL.
Hmm.
I when the P series came out back in 2016, the TCL P series, I remember like everyone was talking about it. I made a ton of videos of that TV, and it was just like the best budget TV you could get with full array, local dimming, and everything.
Hmm.
And then after like 2 years of using the TV, I started having problems. And all of a sudden, one day the TV just you can hear the sound, but there was no picture. It was just a black image. So I called a technician. They came by and he told me basically, you know what, the panel doesn't work. You can either fix it, but to fix it, we need to find the exact same model, and which is going to be kind of difficult to find, and it's going to cost you more to fix it
Hmm.
than to just replace it.
Yeah.
So it took about 2 years only. While the Samsung, I bought it in 2018, and it's still working.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is like the Samsung, I paid what, like around 1,500 for the
Hmm.
Q7 FN when it came out.
Yeah. That's about what I paid. I have it too.
and and then the TCL, I bought it for like 600, I think,
Hmm.
when it came out, but it only lasted 2 years, while the
Yeah.
Samsung is still looking beautiful. So that's the thing about reliability between brands that are more experienced and brands that are coming out. We don't know how this is going
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah, that's a good observation. Well, you mentioned the Dolby Vision gaming. You got to check that out a little bit on probably both TVs. I got to check that out on a few TVs as well. And like one thing that I noticed right away is like it's like unplayable on a Hisense, and
Yeah,
like on a Sony, there's no game mode for it. So it's like
yeah,
it's unplayable. Like
it's
the
yeah,
input lag is terrible.
it's terrible.
I think I tried to play Call of Duty and I went like 2 and 24 or
No,
something.
no,
I got
I was
destroyed.
Dude, I was getting like, after like 3 minutes, I was getting like a headache
Yeah, no, that's
playing
bad.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, yeah, they really need a game mode for Dolby Vision for it to be
Yeah, they did. And
taken
honestly, I don't.
seriously.
Honestly, I don't even know if Hisense is going to add that game mode. LG is right now, if they're doing that. I don't even know if they're going to add it to the nano cell TVs, which I think they will
Hmm.
probably. But you definitely need a TV with Dolby Vision gaming to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a lot of questions
yeah,
here.
there is. We'll get to some questions in a little bit. So let's see. When it comes down to your Dolby Vision gaming experience, you didn't notice a difference, right? Like with
No,
yeah, I didn't
no,
notice a difference either. And that's because they're not mastered in Dolby Vision, right?
yeah, that's exactly what I think
Mm-hmm.
too. They're just
Yeah.
not master in Dolby Vision. So, but the positive of what I see here is that we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there. So I'm pretty sure like this is just the beginning. That's why I see it. It's just the beginning. That more features are going to be added. TVs are going to keep coming out with more and more features. It's technology. It's like a never-ending story. There's always going to come out with something else. They have to, so they can continue selling TVs like they're selling our cell phones every year.
All right. Let's see. Let's get to some questions then, and then we'll talk some more about some of the topics. That way we don't get too backlogged on questions. Let me
Yeah.
see. If you see a question that you want me to highlight, just let me know.
Yeah, I think I saw someone. They were asking me something. Oh, the Ryan Bartlett saying, "Is there any way to fix LED local dimming on nanocell TVs?" So on nanocell TVs, I don't think they're going to be, because those are IPS TVs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and on top of that, they only use like a like 30 dimming zones, or like sometimes
Yeah.
like 20
It's.
dimming zones. I don't know. I feel like LG doesn't really care about those TVs. They're just doing them because they're cheaper than OLED.
Mm-hmm.
But even if they add more local dimming, it's really hard to get that deep black levels because it's an IPS panel. So by nature, IPS panels don't have good black levels. That's how it is, you
Yeah.
know. So I would go for I don't know why would they make LG makes IPS, like it's just like the opposite of OLEDs. You know,
Right.
I don't know. I don't understand
It's not
LG's
so much
philosophy.
the IPS either. It's just like they don't get bright. They don't get bright at all.
Yeah, they don't
And
get that bright.
that's the one thing like you're gonna definitely struggle if you're expecting an LCD that's bright. You're not getting that with the nano cell at all.
Yeah.
As far as like how to improve the local dimming for this guy, I don't really know. I don't have experience with the Nano 86 personally.
I had
Let's see.
the Nano 90, which is like a one level up from the 86, and it was. I mean, the TV has beautiful colors, that's
Hmm.
for sure. Good viewing angles, but when it comes down to black levels, it's just like it's not there. You know, especially
Yeah.
when you compare it to even a VA panel, you can tell the difference like right away.
Right.
You know, I think IPS panels work great on monitors,
Hmm.
but on TVs, I don't know why LG is doing that.
Right.
They're pretty good. They have pretty good monitors for sure. I like them.
Yeah. We have a question from Steve. He says he has the Geek Squad coming to install the A80J tomorrow. Any tips on what to be looking for in terms of delivery or screen issues? I just look for cracks, honestly. If it's just little cracks on the edges, and when you turn it on, look for dead pixels, things like that. Uh, Other than that, don't worry too much about banding right away. You kind of want to break it in first before you check for banding. But for the most part, just look for screen issues, cracks around the screen, and damage around the screen. But for the most part, if they're the ones that are going to install it, um, you're gonna want them to check for it too, just to tell them to look for it. And usually, if they're the ones installing it, they will look for it for you. So
Yeah, and also you get like what, like 2 weeks, no?
yeah,
To
yeah, you get 2 weeks.
if anything happens, you have like 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
to return them.
Yep.
Yeah. So I see here as another question: Dolby Vision or HDR10? What's the difference? Right now, well, Dolby Vision technically on paper, the difference is like it's a more dynamic HDR
Mm-hmm.
than HDR10 is like a static HDR.
Yeah.
But on that's on paper, which sounds great, right? But you know, I've done comparisons between them, and it's really hard to tell the difference. Are you able to tell a difference, like a big difference?
Only if the content is mastered in a different way. Like
Yeah,
so you like
that's true.
there's shows on Netflix that are mastered completely different in Dolby Vision, but then when they convert to HDR10, like on a Samsung, it looks really weird. Like the colors look
Oh,
really off. But that's only so far as been on like Netflix shows. For movies, I don't have an issue. Like I think that HDR10 and Dolby Vision for movies is almost like one for one in color. For the most part, you'll see a little bit more brighter highlights in certain areas. So Dolby Vision is definitely the way to go if you're watching HDR. But if you can't and you can't get Dolby Vision, I don't think it's like you need it, so to speak, unless you have like a dimmer TV, because that's Dolby Vision is designed to help out the lower brightness TVs to tone map it a little bit more accurately. And as far as like Dolby Vision gaming and HDR10 gaming goes, like the difference is going to be that metadata that's in place and how that is shaped and how the game is mastered. because when they start doing Dolby Vision gaming right and games are mastered, like essentially you shouldn't have to set up much in as far as HDR setup goes. Like it should just do everything and know everything for you, right? It should be
Yeah.
that dynamic metadata in place, which is something I'm looking forward to personally, if they can do that right.
Yeah, I'm really excited for gaming because gaming is totally different
Hmm.
than movies. So I really want to see game mastered in Dolby Vision
Yeah.
on the Xbox and on a TV. Because now that when I switch from the monitor or a TV, I notice right away that TV looks so much better than the monitor. Like the only reason I play on a monitor is because it's just so convenient for me because I can play right here in this monitor and then work right here in this monitor. So it's just the convenience. But when I switch to the TV, oh man, it's just games look so much better. And then so I'm really excited and looking forward for Dolby Vision gaming on an OLED. I mean,
Hmm.
it's gonna look amazing when they finally get those games together. It says right here, bring back Plasma's 8K with Dolby Vision. Did you ever
Everybody
get a
loves
chance
their
to?
plasmas, man.
Yeah, I never got a chance to own a plasma. Well, they were so
I have.
expensive when they came out.
Yeah, I got one, but later on down the line when they were starting to get irrelevant. Um,
Really?
yeah, I had one.
I
And
remember
I
they were
honestly thought it
freaking heavy,
was,
right?
yeah, they're heavy.
They
they're,
were
they're good.
heavy.
They're good. But it's like I think people have too much nostalgia for them, and honestly,
Yeah.
they aren't going to hold a candle to what OLED is now, and even some of the brighter LCDs. It's just Plasma was cool, but it's just I like the newer stuff. I mean, Plasma definitely made
Yeah.
kind of like low res content look better. So a lot of people are like really shocked when they get their Plasma and they go to OLED or LCD and they're like, "Why is my picture quality worse?" And it's
Yeah.
mostly just because the like lower res content doesn't scale as well, because
Yeah.
everything is trying to get upscaled to that, and yeah, it's not
Yeah.
native content, so it's gonna
No,
look
yeah.
bad.
Definitely. And I noticed also that a lot of people, when they buy a 4K TV, they think that automatically everything is going to be like in 4K.
Hmm.
And I mean, at least that's what I used to think when I had no idea about 4K or HDR or anything, right? So sometimes they get kind of disappointed when they see their regular TV shows and showing up like all pixelated. And the reason is because, like, if you like you said, if you watch lower resolution content, the TV what's trying to do is like to fill up the whole screen. So obviously, when you have, for example, like a picture, lower
Hmm.
resolution picture, when you zoom in, then you start seeing all those pixels, right? So that's sort of like similar what's happening with the TV. So
Yeah.
always suggest I always suggest to get watch 4K content on a 4K TV.
Did you get a chance to check out the 900H last year or the
Yeah,
X90J
yeah,
this year?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had the 900H.
Yeah.
I bought it and I had it for a while until I sold it because I was disappointed that Sony never
Yeah.
really
Right. Right.
updated that TV. Just empty
So
promises.
the X90J and the 900H, let's think of it as sort of a very similar TV.
Yeah,
So would you get that or the U8G? That's what Roberto Gonzalez wants to know. Roberto Gonzalez.
yeah. Well, definitely the UAG. I
Yeah.
mean, to me, Sony was good, but when I compared, for example, I did a comparison between the Sony and the Samsung.
Hmm.
Wow, dude! Like on game mode alone,
Yeah.
the Samsung looked sharper, looked brighter, colors look better, like
Hmm.
everything looked better. Like you don't notice that when you have one TV, you think it looks great,
Yeah.
but when you compare it to another brand, or in my case, a Samsung, I was like, wow, I didn't even realize how much the picture quality degrades in game mode on the
Hmm.
Sony.
Yeah,
So
I
it
heard
was
that a
something that,
lot too. I heard that the resolution got cut in half when you went to 120 hertz
yeah,
on the Sony last year. I know it doesn't do that this year, which is great.
yeah,
Uh, but like in comparison, like so the Sony OLEDs are so nice and they're probably the
yeah,
nicest picture quality that you can get. but like their LCDs, I can't speak for the X95J because I actually have high hopes for that. But I can speak a little bit for the X90J, seeing the X900H, seeing the X90J in a store. Kind of, I could go a little bit as far as saying it's not really as close to the U8G as you would hope. It's definitely a dimmer TV than U8G,
Yeah.
and I think that the UAG is a better TV overall for sure. Um,
Yeah.
the the Sony is, it feels overpriced. Honestly, it feels really overpriced. And that should probably come down during Black Friday. I think the 65-inch was 999, which is a great price. You know, if
Yeah.
you can get a 65-inch X90J for 999, I don't think too many people are going to complain about that. But what it is right now, it feels overpriced, and I think the UAG is a better value overall.
Yeah. So far, right now, the UAG has, yeah, like you said, has really good features, really good quality, great value overall.
Hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Oh no, did you freeze? I hope that's not me, man.
No. Oh,
Okay.
I think is it. There you go. I think I'm back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it froze right here on
Oh no.
this live stream. I'm like, I'm back. So so yeah, I think like I said, like the Sony, the X900H,
Hmm.
I have like high hopes about getting the VRR and all those gaming features, but like Sony just like I don't know, I don't understand Sony. Like they have the PlayStation 5, which
Yeah.
is the like right now the number one selling console, right? They and they have like a huge fan base on the PlayStation 4, but their TVs they're not ready for those consoles yet, or at least they don't have those features.
Right.
While LG, which and Samsung, which they don't even have a console,
Hmm.
they are ready.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
something
crazy.
so
It's wild to me. That is
yeah,
definitely wild to me that Sony is not ready for this. Like, come on, man. Like, you have one of the best consoles, out right now. It's good, and it just doesn't have VR. Not even the consoles have VR. So,
yeah,
like, I wonder if that has something to do with it. Like, we're not ready to bring VRR to our TVs until our consoles have it. Like, I have no idea, like, what their thought process or what their thinking is. A lot of people says it's the MediaTek chip, which I probably believe. I think that, they're not sourcing. They're sourcing their parts. They're not making them themselves. Like, LG
yeah,
is making their own chipset. So they
yeah,
have four HDMI 2.1 ports, and they're the only TV that has four HDMI 2.1 ports.
yeah, exactly. And some people like you're saying, but the PS5 doesn't have VRR, but they're adding it.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
have
that's
to
one of
add
the
it.
features
Yeah.
that they
It's
say they're going to add.
right.
They're going to add it. So it just doesn't make any sense. I say, okay, so, since the PlayStation doesn't have it, we're not going to have it until the PlayStation 5 has it. Well, why wait until the end while you can, take advantage of selling more TVs to other audience, and
Okay.
then people and bring and just build that audience, build that those customers,
Yeah.
and then when the PlayStation 5 is ready, boom, the TVs are ready
All right.
because they're probably going to have some problems too, like other brands.
Okay, so let's address this. So Rose says you don't need VR for PS5, and then Jim says apparently PS5 has a secret VR that works only on Sony TVs. Let's debunk this right now. That is not true.
Yeah,
That
that
is
is not true.
absolutely not true. I'm not sure what started that rumor, but that is not true. There is no
I I
secret
I I,
VRR for
I
Sony
think
TVs,
FOMO
and
started that a
no,
while.
I don't know
I
if he
remember.
did. He said he's not sure where it came from either when I had to talk to him about it.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, like I really don't know where this came from. Maybe somebody heard it from somewhere and then kind of said it. It's easy to get things mixed up, but there's
Yeah,
definitely no secret VRR on Sony TVs
yeah,
for PS5. You can test this in a lot of different games. There's screen tearing, you'll see it. There's stuttering in certain games, you'll see it. So things that VR
yeah,
is supposed to alleviate, you're not getting that. So there's definitely no secret VRR
yeah.
for sure.
And also, for people who say that PlayStation 5 doesn't need VR, yes, eventually it will need it,
Hmm.
especially with now that they're supporting 120 hertz games. And as you guys may notice, some of those games they don't reach the 120 hertz, so they're like between 100.
Yep.
They just bounce the frequency. So it is, that's where VR comes in, because it's going to be changing.
Hmm.
So VR is going to stabilize that picture while you're gaming. It's going to be very important for the in the future, not right now.
Yeah, I
Not right
agree.
now.
I agree. It's right now. There's not a necessity for it as much. It's nice to have because you will notice it is smoother. It's going to be smoother across the board playing in VRR. Just because if there is a hiccup or a drop or a screen tear, you won't notice it. And if you're playing a game and you see a screen tear, you'll be like, "Oh, dang, I should have had VR on or something."
Yeah.
Because I don't play with VR on most of the time, so when I see screen tearing, I'm like, "Oh, whoops." But it's not something that bothers me because I don't play something that screen tears like a bunch, except for Sea of Thieves, which is like insane screen tearing if you have VRR off. But if you turn VRR on, all of a sudden that screen tearing is gone. So it's good that VRR works on these TVs. It's just sad to see that Sony's not having VRR at launch. Still, and their TVs last year still don't have it, and who knows if
Yeah.
they will get it. They're
Yeah.
supposed to, but
I don't even know, because they keep saying, they
yeah,
said that in December last year they will have it. Remember, they said like by the
yeah,
holidays or
yeah.
something, or winter something,
Hmm.
and then we didn't get it. And I remember I released a video back in, I think it was January or February, talking about that, and then like some people were hating on that video because like, oh no, you don't need VR and like all this and that, and then they will have it ready for in like 3 months, and then all of a sudden Sony added that their on their website, they said that they will add VRR and also auto looking latency,
Hmm.
and that's it. But it's been what, like 6 months already, and we haven't had that yet.
Yeah,
So
that's
so
true.
one thing that I learned from that lesson is just not to buy a product based on just like promises or future updates. Just buy a product, well, based on what you're getting at the moment, right now at the moment. But even so, I noticed that there's a lot of fans, like extremely like fans of certain brands,
Hmm.
that no matter what, they just going to support that brand.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
know,
Yeah, that's gonna
no
happen
matter
no
what.
matter what, right? That happens
Yeah,
with Xbox, PS5. That happens with like
yeah,
LG, Sony, Samsung. I see it all the time. Like I personally don't have any brand or loyalty. I like don't care. I just want a good product. But it's funny how many times I've been called a Sony fanboy because I had a good review on a Sony, and then the last time somebody said I hate LG, but I actually might buy an LG OLED for my personal TV, and it's kind
yeah,
of funny just how like a lot of that is out there. But I mean, it's just part of the whole process. A lot of people are like that, and that's fine. I got something I want to talk about really quickly. The Stream Deck, have or the Steam Deck, not the Stream Deck. But
oh,
have
the
you?
new one.
Yeah. Let me
Yeah,
change the name on that.
I haven't seen any like videos, but I seen what you're saying, like
Yeah, it's the
the
Steam
Switch
Deck.
competition for the
Mm-hmm.
Switch.
Yeah, let me share my screen really quick.
That looks
Uh,
pretty sick though. Last year on CES, I saw something similar that it was from Alienware,
mm-hmm. There it is.
and dude, I think it was so cool. It's like a mini PC, like a portable PC.
Yep, it is.
There you go,
It's
that one.
so that's what it looks like. Very weird
Wow.
controller placement, I would say. Like it feels
Yeah.
uncomfortable like to play this maybe. Like it looks like it wouldn't be the best
Wow.
thing to like hold, but it is beautiful
Yeah.
looking, and it has a really nice screen. The price it's coming in at is very competitive for what it's in it. It's got a AMD RDNA 2 system, Zen 2 powerhouse,
Wow.
which is going to be able to play all your Steam library games and AAA games. And there's even a dock with it, so you can just hook it up to your TV. So this is for people that don't want to buy a gaming PC, or maybe some people that only use like Macs to create things, and then they want like gaming, but they don't want to buy a whole PC. Like they can get something like
Yeah.
this and hook it up, and it kind of docks like the Switch does, but
Yeah.
it's like a actual like HD like powerhouse. And, like you can go up to 4K with this, and
Wow, that's good.
yeah,
That's what's missing from the Nintendo Switch,
Mm-hmm.
which now they're adding the OLED screen, which to me is a terrible idea because most of the people who play are kids, and guess what? Kids, they just leave it on and they forget to turn it off. And OLED, I only picture like how many screen burn they're gonna have.
Mm-hmm.
So many screen burn problems with those OLED. So I don't know what Nintendo is doing.
Yeah.
Even though I used to work for them, but like when I saw that OLED, I was like, dude, I thought it was gonna be like a 4K or something, or at least 1080p display
Mm-hmm. So
with a better,
we were
more
talking about the
performance.
U8G earlier. Let's talk really quickly about the U7G. So Ratings has put out a review on this, and kind of their consensus was it's just like a less bright U8G pretty much. And they actually found the contrast ratio on their unit to be better on the U7G. And they
Really?
said the EOTF tracking was better on the U7G. So it's not as bright, but it seems to be controlling the brightness a little bit better.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
but
so that kind of sounds like the Hisense H9G from last year. Remember
mm-hmm,
that TV was like 1,000, was rated like 1,000 nits,
mm-hmm,
and but for some reason, I think that the H9G had better native contrast than the UAG. I don't know if you had a chance to play around with the H9G, but
I haven't, no.
no, but oh man, that TV had beautiful black levels. The contrast was so high that it reminded me when I reviewed the LG C9 OLED that the some of the picture looks sort of like a three-dimensional because of the deep black levels, and so everything just stood out more. And that I had similar experience with the H9G, and that was because of the native contrast. It was higher. So even though some people they were saying, "Hey, but it was I had the 55-inch unit. Oh no, it was the 65-inch unit, and it had like 130 something dimming zones. I mean, this one has 360 dimming zones,
Mm-hmm.
but the last year H9G 65-inch had like 100 and something dimming zones, and still I feel like it looked better than the UAG. It was crazy. It's just the
That's
native
yeah.
contrast makes a huge difference.
I heard that a lot too. I guess I don't know what it is. Maybe they just need to get some firmware out to fix up the U8G a little bit and make it kind of on par with that because it does seem like something is off with the HDR because sometimes it looks really great and then other times it feels like it's a little blown out and I'm not sure why that is. So
Yeah, that's true. I've seen that too. Maybe they need to make some more adjustments on that local dimming and native contrast. I think native contrast does make a big difference because I want to see that U7G. I'm gonna get it. I got an email from Hisense that I should get it by the end of this month. So in a
okay,
couple more
cool.
weeks. So I'll
Yeah,
be
nice.
testing it and I'll probably do a side by side with the UHG. That'll be interesting to see.
Nice. So if
With
anybody wants
gaming.
to see the U7G versus the U8G, go to Joelster's channel and subscribe
Yeah.
for that. That's going to be really awesome.
Oh yeah, he says Jim Salad says that H9G suffered from red ghosting issue didn't occur often. Yes, I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
My unit didn't have that problem, but I remember seeing that some people had that problem
Yeah.
either with that. And also that H9G, I have a friend of mine that has it. I gave it to him, and he still uses it. The last year's H9G, HAG, and the RUG, I think it was
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So one of those TVs I sold it. The other ones I gave away to some of my friends and my cousins, and they still have them. They still use them, and every time I go see them, they're like, "Dude, I love the TV." So that's good to hear. At least Hisense is. I can tell that at least from about a year, they still work.
Mm-hmm.
They still work like a rock.
Awesome. So let's open up questions to the chat. So go ahead and post your questions in chat if you have any questions. I see one right here talking about upcoming TVs. Well, highlighted the wrong comment. Here you go. It says, what do you think about the QNED 99 and QNED 90? Have you heard much about these TVs?
No, I haven't. I
Okay.
haven't. But those are the ones with the new nano cells with the new panel, right?
Yeah, the mini LED. It's supposed to be a
The
competitor to the Neo QLED mini LED TVs. So the
Yeah,
QNED 99 is the 8K version, and the QNED 90 is the 4K version. The
yeah,
4K version will only have two HDMI 2.1 ports available to it. So they'll be very similar to the Samsung in that sense, which is very disappointing to see that they didn't have the 4 HDMI 2.1 chipset
yeah,
like they do on their OLEDs. And it's also running a kind of a weaker processor. It's the A7 Gen 4 processor instead of the A9 that's in the OLEDs of this year. So
yeah,
it's a little bit disappointing to hear that they didn't get the top of the line hardware inside of it. But you know, it's supposed to be their brightest TV yet, which is not saying a whole lot, considering they don't really have bright TVs right now. But
yeah,
you know, I think it'll be a competitor to the QN85A, and it'll have Dolby Vision gaming. So you know, maybe that'll push that TV to be like the next go-to LCD TV. If it's pretty good, it might even be better than QN90A. So I'm really excited about that TV because Samsung needs that competition at the top level. Like right now, as of right now, like there's no better TV that's an LCD TV than
yeah.
the Samsung QN98. Like that is far and away the best LCD TV that you can buy. And I hope that changes with the QNED 90. So I'm definitely excited about that TV for sure.
Yeah. Is that TV still going to be IPS?
It is
I think so, right?
IPS. Yeah, yeah.
It is, right?
hmm
Wow.
It is, but you know, like we saw how Samsung's using their IPS technology, and it didn't really look like IPS. So maybe they use a similar kind of technology in their QNED 90, and then you can get that better contrast ratio than we're used to with IPS. So
Yeah, I'm
there's
pretty
some
sure
hope.
that hopefully one of these days, LG realizes that VA panels are the best way to go when it comes down to LCDs.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty sure if they do, man, their TVs are going to be so much competitive with Samsung.
yeah.
You know,
Somebody
Samsung needs
needs
that.
to challenge them. Yeah.
Yeah, Samsung needs that competition
hmm
because they know they're on top, even though OLEDs are been doing really well. But when it comes down to LCD, Samsung is on top, and I think also the what do you think about the new X95J
Yeah,
from
I'm excited
Sony?
about that TV. I'm very excited about that TV. I think that um, it has a chance to be really good, but also it has a chance to disappoint as well. So
Yeah,
it's either going to be, you know, a little bit of a step up from the X90J, or it's going to be just a huge step up from the X90J. Now, we really don't know what it's going to look like because there's not too much information out there about it yet. But there's rumors, you know, that it's gonna get up to 2,000 nits of brightness, and if that's the case, then we might have a really nice LCD TV on our hand. And of course, brightness isn't all that matters. You know, it has the XR processor in it, which makes the A80J and the A90J like stand out above the other OLEDs. In my opinion, in terms of picture quality, there's no beating it. But so that TV could be a competitor at the top end LCD market for sure. And it is about
yeah.
the same price as the QN98. It looks like it's coming in. So it'll be interesting.
So this one, G Rock Hawkins says that TCL will have something to rival the Q90A. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
hope
forward for
so.
that. TCL, well, TCL should be launching. They usually the last ones to launch their TVs, right? You notice that?
hmm Yeah,
I
they're supposed
think
to be
like,
working on OD0, but like they said they were going to come out with this TV called Vidrian a little bit about like,
mm,
you know, they were promising that and it never came. And then they scrapped it and moved on to something else. And now OD0 is, you know, something that they really are hyping up at CES, and hopefully it comes. But, you know, I don't have any hopes that it will like be here on time. I think that it's tough because they have a lot of supply issue over at TCL as well. It's not just Hisense with the supply issue, which is why Hisense raised the price because they don't have a lot of supply to go around and there's a lot of demand for it. So
Yeah.
Hisense decided, like, look, we're not doing these sale prices anymore, and we're gonna up our prices on the lower end models too. So,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yep,
All this pandemic, it caused a lot of chaos between everything, dude. Not just TV, like a lot of things got all backed up.
definitely, definitely.
Says, what do you think about the Q90A? Oh, well, we talked about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's the top of the line from Samsung right now. It's the
Yeah.
top of the line from Samsung. Definitely, if you get a chance to buy one, I will just wait for probably like Black Friday at this point.
Yeah. I think
Prices are gonna
that
drop.
prices are going to be really nice during Black
Yeah,
Friday, and next time there's a sale that comes along, like it's going to be very close to what you'll see at Black Friday too, because I think it was like 14.99 for the 55 inch, like just a couple weeks ago, and that's a really good deal for the QN98. So
how
I
much was it?
say
15?
14.99.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think
That's
the QN85A is like 13.99, like brand new right now. So it's
wow.
definitely a good price for the QN90A.
Yeah, I think when I bought it for like either 16 or 1700.
They came down a little bit.
Yeah, they
Um,
came down. Yeah,
and that's the thing. I think the prices will come down more than ever this year because it is more competitive than it's ever been at the top end. And everybody just is kind of like set on OLED almost because
yeah,
they're so cheap now. Like right now, LG just kind of locked in that 14.99 price for the 55-inch C1. And it's like if you're buying a 55-inch TV, you're buying a C1. Like
yeah,
it's most likely what you're doing right now. The prices are so good for the C1. And if I was buying a 55-inch right now, it'd be a C1 just because it's the best price for what you get. Um, and to me, it's worth $500 more than say the U8G. You know,
yeah,
no disrespect to the UAG, I love that TV, but like for $500 more, you can have an LG OLED, which is gonna give you the best kind of movie watching you can even ask for. Really, at that price, it's a
yeah.
no-brainer. So that price tag is really good for LG, and I think it might get even cheaper on Black Friday. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 13.99, even 13.49, maybe even
Yeah,
12.99. Like they're really pushing prices lower than ever. So it's good
yeah.
to see. It's definitely
Man,
good to
dude,
see.
I had a story to tell you. I went to with be the installer. I went to his
I
house
heard about that. Go
the
ahead.
other day, and I took the scooters because I've been doing like scooter videos,
Mm-hmm.
the e-scooters. So I told him, hey, you want to go and test them out? So, dude, this guy has like a bunch of TVs, like a bunch of OLED TVs on his house. It's crazy. Like as soon as
Yeah.
you enter, he has like the 83-inch
Oh
Sony
man.
X, oh no, the A90J, I think it is.
Uh huh.
83 inch, like that thing looks humongous. For
Yeah.
some reason, it looked bigger than 83-inch. I don't know why, but and then on top of that, he has like I think a two 55-inch OLEDs or something like that. It looks like
Yeah.
the
He has a
Matrix.
video about it. It's crazy looking.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then he's like, "Oh, here, let's go to this other room. There's another OLED right there. Let's go to the kids' room. I have the A80J over here." I was like, "What the hell, dude? You have like, I don't even doubt you have one in your bathroom too." It
Yeah.
was like,
Did you guys film
uh,
any of that? Like the meetup?
no, I didn't. I didn't film
Dang.
any of that.
Because I
But
heard he rode scooters with you and everything, and
yeah, yeah, we went riding on the scooters. We do have video. I do have footage riding
yeah.
the scooters. We went down to the Pacific Beach.
Yeah, yeah. He
No,
said
Mission Bay.
said you were skating on the boardwalk at like 40 miles per hour almost.
Yeah, we were riding on the like little kids. They were like wow, like all the scooters. And he was having a lot of fun. He
Yeah.
loved the scooter. They're
He
so
talked
much
about it
fun.
yesterday on Keep It Classy stream.
Oh,
He was
really?
really, yeah, he was really enjoying the scooter ride, he said. That's
Yeah, we had
awesome,
so
man.
much. We had so much fun, and then like, but I was so impressed with how many OLEDs TVs he has. I was like, dude, just like TVs like everywhere. You turn around, it's like, oh, there's another OLED right here. And the the wall mount that he used for that 83-inch, that thing is like a freaking robot thing, dude. It's so big.
Yeah.
Like, man, that thing is just over the top, I think. But
Hmm.
it's crazy. It's nice though because it has enough, like a big living room, sort of like a medium-sized living room. So it looks nice on that living room. But then the 55-inch on top, you're like, what the hell is like the Matrix in here?
Yep.
Yeah, that was really awesome, man. You see what it
Yeah,
is?
man, that
This thing.
that's pretty cool. So I guess kind of let's talk about the best TVs you can buy for gaming, like right now. Like in your opinion, what's the best TV for gaming right now?
Right now, man, I really like the Hisense
Hmm.
UAG, but I think the best TV for gaming with the features, all the features and everything, will be like the C1
Hmm.
OLED from LG. I mean, you got what, like 4 ports HDMI 2.1. You get all the features,
Yep.
even Dolby Vision gaming. You have it right there. You have low input lag, VRR. What is this? A FreeSync Premium.
Yep.
I mean, you have everything with the OLEDs, and the picture looks fantastic. So, and the price, I think, is just, it's a great price. Like you said, 1,500 for the
Yeah.
55
fifteen
inch,
hundred for the 55 inch.
5,500. I mean, you're getting like the top of the line of everything with all the features. Plus, they're getting the 4K 120 hertz with Dolby Vision support. I
Yep.
know they're already testing it.
Yeah, they already have it. Hmm.
Some people already has it.
Yep.
Already have um, that feature already activated. They're just, and I said I think they're going to release it anytime soon now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
hard to
that's
argue with that. It's hard to
it's
argue with
really
that.
hard to argue with that because it has all those features. It has great picture. It has great for gaming. It has good for movies. I mean, it's just an overall good TV.
Hmm. Yeah, I go back and forth between that and the QN90A. I
The
think
Q&A, yeah,
that's just the brightness for gaming is
that's yeah.
incredible. So it just depends on what you like, right? So that's what it kind of boils down to. But if you're like pressing me, you're like, what's the best TV for gaming? And I kind of have to lean towards the LGC one just for the functionality of
Yeah,
the ports. If you're gonna get more consoles down the line, if you're gonna hook up a gaming PC,
yeah,
like that's probably where I would lean. Now, if you're sure you're going to be set on one console and you're not going to be needing Dolby Vision gaming, you don't really care about it, I'd probably go with the QN90A, honestly, just because the black levels are good enough. Honestly, they're pretty close to OLED level. I did a side by side and I was impressed with the black levels, and most of the time the picture quality just kind of was better on the QN90A, like in any scenes that involved any sort of brightness, any sort of
yeah.
highlights, but there was definitely no beating the OLED when it came down to certain darker scenes. It was just better. And so it depends on what kind of games you play, right? It depends on when you play games or what time of day you play games. It's tough. Like that's probably the toughest decision you can make because I see a lot of people ask me that all the time. Like, do I get the QN90A or do I get an LGC one or do I get an A80J? And like that's another thing. Like the A80J, I definitely include that in this because if you're not gonna get multiple consoles, then and you don't really care about VR too much, the A80J is definitely a great looking TV. So
So,
it's between
what do you
those
think
three for
about
sure.
between what do you think between the A80J and the CX or the C1? Which
Mm-hmm.
one do you think it looks? Which one do you think looks brighter, or do they look the same?
The A80J is slightly brighter. It is
Mhm.
slightly sharper. It just looks like it has more clarity. And this is like at 3 to 4 feet. Like you have to be fairly close to kind of notice that. If you're sitting like, I don't know, 7 to 8 feet from the TV, they're likely going to look very similar, most likely the same to you.
Yeah,
But the A80J is just definitely a cleaner image in general over the
yeah,
C1. It just doesn't have the functionality, so it's really hard to like recommend because I don't know people's situations. If they're fine with just one console or two consoles and no soundbar, it all depends on what you're getting and what your future looks like in terms of like the devices you're buying. Because the
yeah.
80J is definitely better, looking, like picture quality, but it's not that much better. Like it's
Mm.
not gonna be groundbreaking unless you sit close. So
And price wise, are they? I think they're the same, right? Almost the same,
uh, I think the Sony might be a little bit more expensive,
right? Like
because
maybe
it's
like
not
three
on.
hundred bucks.
It's like $200 more
Yeah,
expensive right now. And like if you're telling me like what are you gonna buy right now, I'm going with the C1 over the ADJ just because of the price also, and then like I said, the
the
functionality. It's just
features.
like if you
Yeah,
had to press me on it. And it's funny because like I like the ADJ better, but I would go with the C1. And that's the thing people have to remember is like it depends on your situation, and for my situation I think the C1 would be better. And not only that, you have to factor in the price too. Like is it $200 better than the C1? I don't know, probably not. So it depends, it really
yeah,
depends.
yeah. So, for example, there were I saw a comment here. Does a UAG or CX impresses you more, Jolter? Um, so I did a video comparison between the CX and the UAG, and I talked about all those differences. But what I was more impressed was but the brightness level on the UAG. The thing is, like when you have one TV, you get used to that brightness, or you get used to those deep black levels. You get used to it.
Hmm.
But when you have another TV right next to it, and you are able to see that difference, that's when you get so surprised on what you're missing from one another.
Right.
So the first thing I notice is that when you're watching HDR content, the picture tends to go a little bit dim a little bit, but that depends also on how much brighter or brightness that your TV is capable of. So that's when the UAG like stood up so much when I was watching or testing movies or gaming. Some games they just look completely dark on the OLED, and even though I try to use the highest OLED levels on the
Hmm.
brightness, everything, I couldn't believe how much difference that was. So I tried to change everything on the OLED to make it as bright as possible, and still I couldn't I couldn't compare it to the UAG from Hisense. So like I said at the end of the video, I think I said that if you're looking for a TV that is going to be on a dark room, yeah, definitely go for an OLED because it looks nice, and you don't need that brightness on a dark room. But if you have like a window right next to your room, or like maybe like an ambient light, or it's
Hmm.
going to be on a bright room, you're definitely going to need a TV that is bright enough so you can see a clear picture, because it is a tremendous difference between
Yeah.
those panels.
And when they were side by side, you noticed this probably, I bet, is it was both good and bad, right? Like sometimes
Yeah,
it felt like it was a little overblown
yeah,
on some of the highlights. And it's like, wait, this isn't realistic looking. It's just there's something about this that doesn't look natural. And
yeah.
like you don't feel that with the OLED too much.
Yeah,
'Cause-
but yeah, that's one another thing. But the cool thing about having a TV that is much brighter is that you can always bring down the brightness.
Yep.
Like right now, this TV at the background. If I use the regular backlight all the way as I normally use it, you won't be able to see it on the camera. The camera will it's all white. So I'm able to control that.
Yeah.
But it's better to go down than to have needing that brightness and not having it. That's the
Hmm.
way I see it. But like I said, once you have a TV and you don't have nothing else to compare with, you'll be like, "Oh, this TV looks amazing."
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
it
Yeah,
looks
like
freaking amazing.
I feel like any TV you buy that's just decent, you'll probably be impressed with it. Depends on what you're coming from, of course. But like, you definitely have to kind of just expect a good TV when you buy TV, because if you're coming from a TV that you needed to upgrade in the first place, it's likely that the TV that you buy is going to impress you. So
Yeah,
that's why I tell everybody like to just we nitpick all the time, but that's like what we do. That's our job. Our job to pick out like any flaws, you know, show the pros that people might not notice, show the cons that people might not notice, because that's goes into your buying decision at the end of the
yeah,
day. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Now that you mentioned that, one pro thing I saw about the LG CX is that colors look so much better. For
mhm.
some reason, just like colors look more like a little bit more saturated. they just stood up. Everything just stood up more when it comes down to colors. So
Yeah.
like that's one thing for another,
Yeah,
like you
LG
said.
definitely does the saturation and the color is really good. They're almost like Samsung in that sense. Like they're like
Yeah,
the Samsung
yeah,
of OLEDs. Like they are real.
yeah.
They really pop their colors.
Exactly. The colors just pop and they look so nice, especially in gaming, which it's what I do most. I can see that the colors is like boom. So when you have that pop, you tend to like
Mhm.
incline more on that direction.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I noticed. So that's why for me, OLED is probably like the best gaming TV. But
Yep.
but if you're in a budget, what do you think? Which TV should we recommend if you're in a
Ooh,
budget? Maybe like less than $1,000.
less than $1,000. That's tough because that puts you in a lot of different categories. Like less than a
Yeah,
thousand dollars. Like at $1,000, you have the U8G, which, like we talked about, is a good TV, and that's probably where I would lean, most
yeah,
likely. But you just have to understand that there is issues with it right now. Like ports 3 and 4. They have the inverse ghosting, even though you don't really notice it. So, I've heard other users say they don't really notice it either. So it's definitely something that you might not see unless you're like in a darker area. I notice it all the time. But like the difference is between that TV and TVs cheaper than that, there is like there's no TV I can compare it to. So I
yeah,
definitely would say probably the UAG. Even though, it has gone up in price, but it's still probably the best TV you can buy for under $1,000.
yeah. $1,000, the 55-inch version
Hmm.
UAG, and also I think the U7 is gonna be cheaper. No, I don't.
Yeah, the
How do you?
U7G is like I think it's 849,
Yeah,
and let's
yeah,
see.
probably the U7G for gaming. It's
Hmm.
probably gonna be that. I still gotta test it, but so far from artings.com, they say it's a pretty good TV
Yeah.
so far. So under $1,000, if you're looking for a TV that it has HDMI 2.1 features, that's probably a good choice for gaming.
Yeah, I'd probably lean towards that. Um, yeah, the U7G. Why is it not showing up on their website no more? I was just on Best Buy. It was showing up. I think it is 749 or
Man,
849. One
it's
of
a
those.
it's a tough to. I'm really looking forward for TCL. What are
Hmm.
they gonna bring to the table? Because TCL, I don't know if you noticed, but every year they're coming out with some like really awesome features,
Yeah,
and the prices is just a very very competitive.
yeah.
Let's see,
Nah, it's
U7.
gonna be interesting to see. Um, TCL is definitely good. Uh, I don't know. Maybe we should say like under $800. That makes it a little harder.
Yeah,
Um, then
because
I
I noticed a lot of people are looking for a under $1,000 or a budget TV that has HDMI 2.1 features, and I'm like,
Yeah,
wow,
that's
that's really
likely.
tough to
Yeah,
get.
that's likely just going to be the Hisense TVs, honestly.
That's gonna be like the highest. That's really really tough to get.
Hmm.
Sometimes I recommend this TCL 6 series, but it doesn't have HDMI 2.1 either.
Yeah, and
So let me
The
see.
U7G is probably the sweet spot. Like if you're not really needing a TV that's super bright, it gets bright enough. Um, but it's like the price difference between the U7G and the U8G is not that big.
Is no, actually,
So
it's
I
the
would
same price. The 65 inches,
yeah,
same price, 1249.99.
yeah. So like I don't know, man. I think I'd probably pay the extra for the U8G.
The 55 inch, it's 849, so that's $150 cheaper
Yeah.
for the 55 inch.
And you get more brightness for $150 more. So I don't know.
But wow, that's probably the best option right now for with all those features and that price.
Hmm.
Yep, that's that's a good one. Damn, I
Yeah,
didn't
let's
even.
get those likes up. Go ahead and like the video, guys, if you haven't already. Like the video. It
Yeah,
helps a
thank you
lot
so much for all you guys showing up. 43 watching right now.
for sure.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, anytime you got to skate out, let me know. I'm just kind of sticking around. So
Yeah, are you here local, KG?
I
Are
am in
you
Washington. So
Washington? Oh,
yeah,
okay. Damn, that's kind of kind
It's
of
up
far
north.
from where I
Yeah,
live.
in
Yeah,
Seattle. So
yeah. No, man. Like I'm still working on more videos for the e-bikes and scooters. I'm really excited about that. I just like I
yeah.
go out and well, the e-bikes you get to do some exercise too, but you have the the extra power.
Mm,
And the scooters, man, those are things are fast. Those things are
yeah.
fast. Like I go like 35, 40 miles per hour on the scooter. So it feels like you're gonna die, but it's just like the adrenaline rush, man. It's just like crazy.
Wow.
So I'm just like I told BD and so Brian, let's go, dude, let's try it out. Like he was like, oh my god, these are so much fun, man. You have some cool toys. We were like a little kids right there on the beach.
Yeah. I hope there's a video. Like I'm really hoping there's a video or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
sort of video or some sort of vlog
I'm
that
I'm,
you
I'm
guys
working on
did.
that. I'm
Okay.
working on that.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. That's good to hear. I think
yeah,
everybody will be wanting to watch that for sure.
yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, guys, you have any? Man, there's a lot of comments. Micro LED, man. What do you think about micro LED? Will be the goat.
Oh yeah, when it's affordable. Like when is it gonna be affordable though? It's already
Yeah, that
it's
thing has
just
been talking about for years.
yeah,
I used to see it at CES all
way
the time.
expensive. Yeah.
It's gonna be so expensive.
I don't think any of us will be buying that anytime soon.
Yeah, we need it already.
For sure.
Dude, they're just gonna milk so much money out of consumers between before they release that micro LED.
Hmm.
Because there's like so many features that are gonna be added still, but we
Yeah.
haven't even thought of. But I'm also looking forward for those monitors with HDMI 2.1 features.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
few of them out.
there's a few of them
The
out already,
thing
but there's
about the
like
monitors is like, man, so they
so
have these like,
expensive.
yeah, the big format gaming displays, and like if
Mm.
you compare them to a TV, it's like, why not just buy a TV?
Yeah,
It's
that's what
almost,
I was.
they seem pointless to me, and
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's what I was thinking too. I mean, like I saw those prices and I was like, wow, being $1,000 for a 27-inch and like 1,500 for like a 32-inch, when I can have a 65-inch for the same
Yeah,
price, you
yeah.
know. And even though no matter what you do, but the TV, the quality, picture quality on the TV is just so
Oh,
much
for
better,
sure. Because you got dimming
so much
zones,
better.
you got OLED technology, you got things that you won't really find in an LCD monitor. And LCD monitors are great for like, gaming if you're a competitive gamer, like you're playing uh like Warzone or I don't know, not Warzone. Warzone's not a competitive game. Uh like I don't know, like more serious games, I guess like Valorant or
Yeah.
CS:GO or something like that on the PC where
Mm.
you're just like really into and you need to be on the screen to see people, right? Like I used to
Yeah.
game all the time on a monitor and there's no beating it like for FPS.
Yeah.
Because like when I moved to the TV, I started to suck. Like I was just, I was like, really bad at Call of Duty now. Now that I moved to the TV, but I can still sometimes get some kills.
Yeah. No, I definitely want to see more monitors, or at least with an OLED monitor, like a 32-inch OLED monitor, because I bought the 48-inch LG CX OLED, and my God, I think it's still huge. Like
Hmm.
I can't use it as a monitor when I'm, so used to this to have everything so close to me, like at least what, like a feet and a half away from me.
Yeah.
If I put that 48-inch here, no, it's gonna burn my eyes. It's just so big, So I hope to see like at least a 32-inch OLED monitor. That will be so nice. And I know LG can do it. I just want to see that.
Yeah, that'd be nice, man. Let's see. Let's get a few more questions, and then do you have anything you want to talk about that you really want to talk about before we kind of wrap it up?
No, no, I think I covered almost everything, dude. It's been almost everything.
Cool,
Dude, the
cool.
new LG RGB OLED is nice. Used to be 120 hertz. Yeah, it's a lot of cool comments, man. I'm so happy to see all these comments
Yeah.
here. That's a good theater
Okay. Here's a
recliner that can
question.
also be used for gaming. Oh, like a gaming seat you talking about?
Like one that vibrates. I was thinking like that would be such a cool thing to just have like a chair that like raises and moves and rocks and stuff. Like,
That's yeah.
but
That's what I was thinking too. Like a while back, I was
yeah,
thinking, man, that would be so nice if there's like a share, like I could put speakers like right here,
yeah.
like surround speakers, and then also vibrates and has like LED lights. It's just like be like it moves like every time someone shoots you, like you can feel that vibration.
Oh
Oh, it's
man.
so cool. But that share is probably gonna be so expensive.
All right, let's see. Evan Bland says TV is 12 feet from seating. Should I go for the biggest TV or the best TV? Sony's 83-inch, G1 77-inch, or the C1 83-inch? No gaming, sports and streaming only. Thanks. So it's 12 feet is really far.
It's
So
really
I would
far.
probably, yeah, I'd
Yeah.
probably go with the biggest TV. Um, and you know the difference between the Sony 83-inch A90J and then the C1 83-inch is a huge price gap. Like that's a huge price gap. Unless you like are friends with like a local dealer or something, you're definitely going to be paying a lot more for the Sony. So it depends. Like even at 12 feet away, an 83-inch, I don't know that you would see a huge difference between the A90J and C1. You'll definitely notice the A90J has more brightness and it'll have better highlights, and overall the picture quality will be sharper, it'll be more clear for sure. But is it worth that price difference? And that's where I keep going back and forth. It's like personally that's why I would get an A80J over an A90J. I can't justify the price difference because I've seen the A80J and the A90J side by side. And to me the A80J is very close to the C1. So I don't know, man. I would probably go with the C1 83-inch. Save a little bit of money. Um, if you know, but if money's no object, you know, definitely get the best TV you want for sure. But an 83-inch for sure at 12 feet.
Yeah.
'Cause
83 inch,
I
12
think
feet.
77
I'm
inch might be too small for 80
yeah.
12 feet.
I mean,
But
this room that I have, it's so small, and I measured, and I'm sitting about 7 feet away from the screen,
mhm.
and I have 103 projector screen back there, and it looks freaking awesome. But that's about 7 feet away from that, and I don't get dizzy. I think it just looks perfect. But 12 feet, that's almost twice as much.
Yeah.
So you might, yeah, go for the bigger option.
Thank you for the super sticker. Much appreciated.
Michelle Alexandria. Hi, Michelle. How you doing today? I seen you on the streams sometimes. See you in the comment section. Thank you so much for all the support.
Thank
She's
you.
been around for a while.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of people in chat I've seen like over and over, and I thank you guys so much for like keep on supporting me. Like that means a lot to me that you guys keep coming through. Uh, Without you guys, I mean, I don't have a stream. I don't have this platform. So thank you so much because it's like a community. It's like a big chat room, and I really love these things. That's why sometimes my streams go for like 2 or 3 hours, is because like I just chill and I have fun, and I lose track of time. So there's no doubt about it. I love this community. Thank you guys so much, for being here. And here's another super chat from Evan Bland again. Thanks for the info. We'll look into projectors also. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. I really want to get into projectors myself. I don't know if I have the right wall for it. Like now that you mentioned that wall like texture and the sheen off of the wall, oh man, it scares me. Like I probably have some rainbow walls
yeah,
if
yeah,
that happens.
yeah. Let me know if you want some. Oh well, we are not local, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna invite you to check out the place here,
I know. I
and
used to live in
also.
California, man. I used to live in
Oh really?
Van Nuys. So
Okay, yeah,
yeah, but I had to move, COVID and stuff.
yeah. And I do
Kind of.
have like projectors, man. I have like two laser projectors sitting over there. I
Yeah.
have another one over there, like a 1080p, and those are ultra short throws. And then in another storage, I have more 4K projectors that I just have there. Like, so you can see the difference because if you're going to go for, like he was saying, like he was has like 12 feet, is it?
Hmm.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a big room. So I will
Yeah.
definitely go for a projector. Go for like at least 120-inch screen, and I will go for a 4K ultra short throw laser projector. That
Yeah.
will be perfect because it's just going to sit right there, so it's not going to take all that space. And then you're going to have the option of going even bigger, 120 inch or even 150 inch, which looks amazing. It's just a projector is probably the best option, and it's going to cost you like $2,000. For the projector, the screen, maybe another $600. So for less than $3,000, you're gonna have like a 120-inch screen, and it looks amazing.
Mhm.
It's really really awesome.
Yeah. What about a 120-inch screen at 7 feet?
Yeah,
That
I
sounds
mean,
insane. Like,
yeah, that's probably like, to me, 103 inches from 7 feet looks perfect.
oh, really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
was trying to fit 120, but I needed to have a lower TV stand.
Hmm.
And then so I needed to make a lot of changes. So I was like, nah, this is fine. For this room is fine, you know. But if you have the space, I will definitely go for it.
For sure.
Definitely go for it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually thinking about getting a 77-inch LG OLED or or an A80J from Sony, and I'm really kind of not sure if I'd be too close to the TV. I'd be like 5 feet from a 77 inch. Is that too close? You think?
Oh, five
Or
feet.
maybe 6 feet? I don't know.
Um, no, I think you're fine. I have
Yeah,
an 80-inch screen over here, and I have sitting about 6 feet away, and it looks nice.
cool.
So
Yeah, I
77
just want that
inches.
immersion, man. Like I don't want to see the
Yeah.
edges of the screen. I just want to be like I'm trapped inside.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the thing about this is like once you start going bigger,
Yep.
you want to go bigger and
Mm-hmm.
bigger because at my friend's house we had 120-inch screen and on his wall, and then like he was so happy with it, right? He
Yeah.
was impressed and he was happy. And then one day I was watching with him, we were watching a movie, and then I told him, imagine if we had the whole wall as a
Mm-hmm.
screen. Wouldn't that be nice? And he was like, yeah, that would be so cool. So I talked to Elite Screens, and I told them about the idea that I had. And it's like, cool, we're going to send you the screen and you just make the video and let us know what you think. All right, cool. So we put it on and we installed it, and it was like, whoa, this looks amazing, because we went from 100, I think it was 110 to 150.
Mm-hmm.
And then so the thing is like, once you buy it, I'm pretty sure that once you buy it, there was 77-inch, you're going to be like, wow, what if I can cover the whole wall? You know, you're gonna be like that, dude. Trust me.
Man,
It's
I hope
like,
not. I hope I'll be very satisfied with it, and I'm like, yeah, this is way bigger than I thought.
yeah,
Cause like, man, that's kind of what scares me. Is like, if I get a 77-inch, am I gonna want like an 83-inch? Cause that's like expensive, and I can't afford that. I know for
yeah.
sure I can't afford it. I can barely afford a 77-inch. So
How
it's
much
like
is the 77-inch? How much is that TV
right now
OLED?
it's 32.99 on sale. Like
Wow.
34.99 I think on sale. But like I'd be looking
Yeah,
for something like 32.99, maybe like 3,000.
yeah,
Hopefully Black Friday it'll be like 2,700. I'm not holding my breath on that price, but that'd be really cool. Um,
yeah.
for sure. I just man, I just think that I'm like you said, I went from 55 to 65 and now I want 77. Cuz everybody's talking about I got a 77-inch OLED or I got an 83-inch OLED. I'm like, all right,
I know.
I
I've
got
seen that.
I got to
And,
get one.
yeah, I see that, and that's what I'm telling you. Like think about this. Like before, it used to be like 55-inch used to be like, whoa, that's big, right? And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, next year it was like, oh, I got a 65-inch, and everybody wants to jump for the 65-inch. And then right now, everybody's like, I got a 77-inch, I got an 83-inch. And you notice the pattern, like everything starts going bigger and bigger and
Yep.
bigger. But with the problem that I see with the TVs and projectors is like, the difference is like when you buy a 77-inch, first of all, to put it together and to wall mount it, it's not an easy task. You need at least help, so for
Right.
someone to carry that TV to wall
Yeah,
mount it.
I wouldn't wall mount it, I don't think.
Oh,
Like
okay.
yeah, I would be nervous to wall mount it. Like and also just
Yeah.
I don't
I'll
know.
be I'll be
I
scared.
have a good stand for it too, so I don't know.
Yeah. But and if for some reason, something goes wrong with the TV, you have to repackage it and take
Yeah.
it back to the store. And it's I mean, I'm thinking about like if I do that with a 55 inch and it's a hustle, how much would it be with a 77 inch? It's like, oh, I don't even want to think about this, you know.
That's why,
So,
like, with a bigger TV, like if you're mounting it, I'd probably just get the Geek Squad warranty because they will take it
yeah.
off the screen for you
Oh,
when
they
if
come.
it's something
Okay.
wrong with it. You won't ever have to worry about that. But
Yeah.
still, man, it is definitely like nerve wracking.
It's yeah.
And then here's a question. Hold on, where is it? I thought this was interesting. Brian T asked, "Would you go with the A80J at 77 inch, or would it be better than the LG C1 at 83 inch?" And I'll say no, it won't be. I would go with the biggest screen there, and because I think the C1 and the A80J are so close. The A80J just has a slight advantage in picture quality, but you have to be close, and it's really it's very close. It's not a huge difference where I would sacrifice size, for sure.
Yeah.
I think the bigger size would definitely be better, and that kind of goes to this. Is like, are you leaning towards A80J or C1? And I actually don't know. uh, this is what I keep going back and forth. It's like, will I be adding a third HDMI 2.1 device at one point? I'm kind of interested in getting back into PC gaming,
Mm.
which would require HDMI 2.1 port. If I ever get a EAFC soundbar, I need one of those HDMI 2.1 ports. So it's like, yeah, I have a PS5, a Series X, I might have no choice but to go with the C1. Like, realistically, unless I want to be switching cables all the time, or going with the HDMI switcher, which actually, hold on, let me bring that up real quick. There is actually a new HDMI switch. I don't know if you guys seen that.
That
Let's
it has
see.
2.1 features or
Yeah,
support.
let me see. Don't know if it works.
Huh.
So,
Gotta
but
check that out.
here it is. It's the 8K switcher. It's on Amazon. Um, Here, let me link it in the chat.
Oh,
I'll link it for you guys in the chat here.
47.99 out of your mind.
I know
That's pretty
it
good
seems a
price.
little affordable. Honestly, I was
Yeah.
expecting it to be
I
like
thought it was
$200 or something
yeah,
like
me
that.
too. I was like, it's gonna be
Um,
$100 for sure.
there's that.
Wow,
I don't
that's not
know if the
bad.
link actually works in the chat, but hopefully.
Yeah. Let me see. I'll tell you right now.
Is it clickable? Do you see a clickable
Yeah, yeah,
link?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
it
cool.
works.
All right, sweet. So yeah, that
So
is an affiliate link though. So if you guys do purchase it, you help out the channel. So if you ever were
cool.
looking for a switch for
Huh.
HDMI 2.1, try it out. If you don't like it, take it back. That's what I'm gonna do. So I bought one of
Yeah.
these. I'm not affiliated with the company. I actually don't even know who makes it.
Okay.
It says brand NA, so brand not
Mm-mm.
available. So you're definitely taking a chance here. Uh,
Yeah.
so will it work? I don't know. I'm gonna have a video about it for sure.
And it
Shout out to
says right
Keep It
here for
Classy Tech. He brought this up yesterday. He said, "Tell me this."
okay.
I wasn't even aware of it. I was like,
For
man.
computer, laptop, Xbox, PS5, and it
Mm-hmm.
has save extra 5% when you apply this coupon.
Yep. And it
Oh,
says only HDMI 2.1 splitter I found works well. And it says works well with PS5 and Series X. It's one reviewer. Is it the people that make it? Maybe. So I
yeah,
don't know. I
probably
don't
could
know.
be.
I don't know if
I
it works, but we'll find
yeah.
out. We'll find out.
Well, that's cool, and that's yeah. I'm definitely gonna get one too,
It's
because
good to see
I
them, It's good
yeah.
to see them.
I connected my PC
Hmm.
to the TV to the Hisense. Man, dude, it looks nice.
Yeah.
It looks really nice. And also one thing that surprised me, I did it on my last video I showed when I tested, 120 hertz from the Xbox and the PlayStation 5. And on both consoles, you lose something. You
Hmm.
lose something. On the PlayStation, when I tested Warzone, you have to turn off HDR. So you
Hmm.
pretty much lose HDR. And then also, Digital Foundry said that the resolution drops down to 1080p.
Yeah.
So you lose
Unfortunately,
something.
yeah, this isn't gonna be a splitter, unfortunately. So it's just gonna be like a button you press to switch your inputs.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's just gonna be like a little switch, so you can have two things hooked up at once.
okay.
I
I
don't
thought it was a
think I don't
splitter.
think it splits. It actually does say it splits. Never mind. So yeah,
Well,
it does
I'll just
split.
we'll have to test it.
Yeah, I'll
We just have
test
to
it for
test it.
sure. That would be nice because then I can test out some footage with HDR at running at 120 hertz or whatever.
Yeah.
Because right now, yeah, you're right. It takes away something.
But yeah, so on the consoles, that's why I'm not so like eager or excited about 120 hertz, because you sacrifice something like either resolution or
Yeah,
textures
right.
or HDR, or the game is just like not loading
Mhm.
well. But when I connected the PC and connected and I play Warzone on PC, I was able to go 120 hertz,
Yeah.
HDR,
Hmm.
and dude, like everything
That's
looked
yeah.
so cool
That's why I
on the
want a
TV.
gaming PC. They're so expensive, right? They're like
Yeah,
24.99 for like a really good one,
yeah,
and like 17.99 for a decent one. And it's like, come on, man, that's really expensive in comparison to a $500 PS5 or Series
yeah.
X, if you
It's
could
a
find one. If you could
huge,
find one, right? Like,
it's a huge difference.
yeah.
It's a
But
big
like,
difference.
you make a good point about like the console games getting downscaled when they are running at 120 hertz because like you said Warzone and like even Black Ops runs at like 1440p if you're lucky
Yeah,
at 120 hertz. So most of these games are going to be like 1080p 120 hertz upscaled to 4K. It looks good still, but you can definitely notice like you can nitpick these textures and like you're like this looks like last gen almost
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Definitely, I noticed that right away. So that's why I'm like, at the end of the day, I think these consoles are perfect for 4K 60,
Hmm.
HDR. Also, Xbox has the variable refresh rate available or freezing. So I think 4K 60 is the sweet spot, but 120 hertz is like they're asking like almost like a miracle, because for you to get that on a PC, you have to invest a good amount of money.
Right.
And even though some games don't run that smooth, so yeah, it's just like for me the sweet spot on consoles is 4K 60 HDR. I think it looks amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
before it
4K
was like
60 looks
what,
so
30.
good now.
Yeah, it's so
Hmm.
good. It's the perfect combination right now for what you're getting on the consoles. But if you want to enjoy like true 120 FPS experience with all those features and everything, get a gaming PC. I mean,
Yep.
I purchased mine for like, I think it was like $2,000. It's a RTX 3070. It's a good PC. I'm not really into PCs, but a friend of
Yeah.
mine told me, get this one. It's gonna be good for you. And dude, it's gaming. It's awesome. And I
Yeah.
do notice the difference
Did
between 60 FPS and 120 hertz. I do notice it on PC.
did you build it
Console?
or did you
No,
buy
no,
it?
no. It was pre-built because it was more expensive. If I would have bought it like
Yeah.
parts,
Right. I know
it
some
was
people
just
buy those just to part them out. So like they're always sold out. How much did you pay for yours?
it was like 2000,
Oh, okay.
like 2000 or 2100. I bought it on man, I forgot this really famous website for they do a lot of PCs. I forgot about it right
Cyber
now.
Power
No,
or I Buy Power,
no,
something like that? No.
no, I forgot. But
Main Gear?
no, main
I
gear are
just
expensive, dude. Those are
yeah,
like the Ferraris of
I was about
PCs.
to say I was like, dang.
Main gear, like
It's not Main
no,
Gear.
$2,000. They get the power supply
Yeah.
only from main
They
gear.
are
No,
expensive, you're right.
yeah, they're super expensive. No, but it was funny because I remember when I was looking for a gaming PC, I went to Costco and they even had like this really cool deals at Costco. And a friend of mine was like helping me, and he was like, "Jolster, I found this on Costco. Check it out." And I went. It was like 1 in the morning, so I woke up and I like look and I'm like, "Oh shit, it looks really good." It was like
Yeah.
cheaper, and it was for the 3080 series. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get it right now." It was like 1800, and as soon as I click on it, boom, it was sold out like right away. So I assume like a lot of people were watching that too.
Yeah.
So I was so disappointed. But I got this for like 2000, and it has really cool features, and the RTX 3070.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has the HDMI 2.1. So I have one of those optical fiber optic cable, HDMI 2.1 cable, and I hooked it up to the TV, and wow, dude, it looks insane. It is a big difference. Not only like it runs better, but the
Mhm.
textures and everything like looks so much better. And also one thing that I love about the PC is just like you can change the field of view, and especially on a game like
Yeah.
Warzone, man, that makes a huge difference too. like
So,
the
did
feel
you
of
get a
you.
chance to test that with the QN85A, or did you get that
No,
afterwards?
I got it after the.
Oh man, see, because
Yeah,
I really want to see somebody like really put that into use, like the
Newegg. Yeah, that's what I
21
got
by
it.
9 and the 32 by 9 gaming on the Samsung, which is
Yeah,
something like I think if you're a PC gamer, like get a Samsung because man, that would be pretty sweet. Like 32 by 9 gaming on a TV, or you know 21 by 9 gaming on a TV. Get a like
yeah,
75-inch TV, you just all of a sudden have a really nice widescreen monitor to play on. So
yeah. All right, guys. I gotta
yeah,
take off.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you for joining, Jolster. I
Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
absolutely.
That
Thank you
was a lot of
for
fun,
inviting
man.
me.
Yeah, no problem.
Uh,
Anytime, man.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you check out Jolster channel too.
Yeah,
Dude,
subscribe.
I've been losing a lot of views. I don't know, like
Oh
people are
no,
not reaching. I noticed that. Have you noticed that too?
yeah, it
Uh,
happens, man.
yeah, I too. I was like, wow, I gotta keep it up.
Yeah, it comes and it goes.
Yeah. All right,
But
guys.
thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Jolster. Subscribe to Jolster's channel. Awesome dude. Great being on stream with you, man. Take it
Yeah,
easy.
same, same. You guys
Have a
take
good day.
care. I'll see you.
Later. Later, guys.